Coming up on DC News Now at 5, heavy rain coming our way. How here in the DMV people are preparing as Hurricane Ian moves closer to our region.
He's very much rooted in the Metropolitan Police Department. I mean, this is a very unfortunate event.
An officer hit and run. What we're learning tonight on the officer remains in critical condition after being hit. And later, Metro delayed, how the latest line could impact your commute. Good evening and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall. Hurricane Ian continues to move closer to the DMV. Ian made a second landfall today near Georgetown, South Carolina, just after 2 p.m. Ian brought 85 miles per hour wind, damaging winds, and a lot of flooding. We have team coverage tonight as we keep a close eye on the storm. We have meteorologist Scott Sumner in the Ford Weather Center, but we first want to go to DC News Now's Max Marcilla, who's in Old Town Alexandria, Virginia. And Max, that area is prone to flooding. What's being done to help keep everyone safe?
Well, Mark, that's absolutely right. And because of how prone this area is to flooding, businesses here on King Street have already started taking preparations. You can see here at the Lucky Knot shop here on King Street, there's already sandbags out, some larger displays ahead of this glass door, one of the entrances to the shop. They are still open and having customers inside, but again, they are preparing for what could be some severe weather tonight. You can see they are really prepared. They're not the only ones across the street. Some restaurants are doing the same, but look, they tell us it's not just the high tide that they're concerned about because the water is just a little bit over that way. They're also concerned because Union Street, this street you see right here, well, it's open to cars right now. Most of King Street has been blocked off to cars, a pedestrian only zone that was done during the COVID era, and it's been continued. But it's this street that they're worried about because they say it's not just the high tide. Sometimes the cars can kind of sweep the water over and can impact some of these businesses. So they're preparing for any potential weather tonight. We'll keep you updated. We'll be out here all evening. So far, just a little drizzle, but Janessa and Scott will sure to keep you updated with the latest. We'll send it back to you from Old Town Alexandria. Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
Okay, Max, thank you. And Scott, really, what's our biggest concern tonight?
Well, there's two, Mark, actually. We have the flooding aspect, as Max just talked about, and then we also have the winds to have to deal with. Now, this just came down as just a few minutes ago. It's no longer a hurricane. It is now post-tropical cyclone Ian, so it's been downgraded a little bit as of 5 o'clock, but it's still powerful, still packing a punch with 70-mile-an-hour winds. To be a hurricane, you'd have to hit 74 miles an hour or higher. And look at the track. It takes it through South Carolina, through North Carolina, central North Carolina, and into southwestern Virginia by tomorrow evening. Or tomorrow afternoon going into tomorrow evening. So as we take a little closer inspection, where does that stand in relationship to our viewing area? Well, it's about 200 tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. It'll be about 200 miles to the southwest of our area. Again, continuing to be downgraded here with its wind speeds and its future progression. Now, that doesn't rule out that it's still not a severe event or a potential severe event with regards to maybe some stronger winds and higher wind gusts around the area, as well as some flooding potentially isolated in cases here. You can see, again, the center of the storm moved across a little after 2 o'clock near the Georgetown, South Carolina area, which, if you're not familiar with that area, is north of Charleston and a little bit south of Myrtle Beach. So that has now moved inland. You can see some of the wind speeds with here. These aren't wind gusts. We're talking about sustained wind speeds with the storm across the area. And over the last couple of hours, you're seeing anywhere from 20 to as high as 50-mile-an-hour sustained winds. And then, of course, you have some higher gusts than that across the area. Now, that is resulting in power outages across the region as well. And the darker color here, the yellow, and that kind of that tan color by the legend shows that we're up to around 40% of certain counties down in South Carolina without power. Now, will that happen here? I don't think so. I'm not foreseeing that, but we'll watch it closely here in the Weather Center, and we'll talk more about Ian, plus our own forecast for the weekend, all coming up in just a few minutes. Mark.
Okay, Scott, thank you. And on the Maryland side, Governor Larry Hogan says that he's preparing the state for any impacts from Ian. The Maryland State Police will be deployed if necessary and monitor flash flooding areas. The state is also clearing drainage ditches and stormwater systems, and providing enough generators, chainsaws, and fuel resources to whoever needs it. An off-duty D.C. police officer is in the hospital after being struck by a car in a hit-and-run this morning in Prince George's County. It happened right in front of a grocery store. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg joins us live from the Capital Regional Medical Center. And Daniel, how is the officer doing this evening?
Well, Mark, that officer, Kenneth Daniels, is still in critical condition in the ICU at last check. Police say he was shopping for groceries with his mother when he was hit. Groceries scattered across the ground, a watermelon in pieces, signs of the impact of a hit-and-run crash at the Shoppers in Mitchellville, Maryland, Friday morning.
This is a very unfortunate event, you know, for someone to be walking out of a shopping center or walking out of an establishment and to get struck by a vehicle.
It happened to off-duty D.C. police officer Kenneth Daniels around 10:40 a.m. as he was leaving the store on Martin Luther King Jr. Highway with his mom. Someone saw it happen and told officers nearby. Those officers started CPR, according to D.C. Police Chief Robert Conti. Daniels is in critical but stable condition.
At this point, as we monitor him, he will require additional time in the ICU.
Daniels is a 23-year veteran of the department assigned to the Violent Crime Suppression Division. His brother is a retired police officer, and his niece works for the department, too.
Police officer is what he does. I mean, he's just a great individual. I mean, it's really kind of the bottom line. I've known Kenny, again, since he was in his teens, and we went to Spingarn Senior High School together. He's a Green Wave.
Prince George's County Police Chief Malik Aziz says his officers quickly tracked down the driver nearby after the crash. He says the driver is cooperating with police.
We have a person that we are talking to right now, but we're beginning the investigation. That information we expect will be released when we conclude this investigation or we get further along.
The Daniels family is in the hospital by his side as doctors continue monitoring him. Now, the doctor here says he does not need any surgery at the moment. That was at last check a few hours ago during a press conference that they gave. The Prince George's County Police Department traffic unit is investigating the hit and run. We're live in Lake Arbor, Maryland. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
All right, Daniel, thank you. Hey, new tonight, connecting Virginia to Washington, D.C., the Virginia Passenger Rail Authority has been awarded $20 million to complete a bicycle and pedestrian bridge. DC News Now's evening anchor, Chris Flanagan, is in the studio. Good evening, Chris.
Hey, Mark, good evening. All right, the plan is to have the bridge connect Long Bridge East Park in Arlington to East and West Potomac Parks in the district. The bridge will span the George Washington Parkway and the Potomac River. It'll allow bicyclists and pedestrians to take in just some really incredible views of both D.C. and Arlington. Kevin Donahue, the city administrator for D.C. government, had this to say about the new bridge.
So this will be a wide pedestrian biking bridge that will feel and be designed for bikers and for pedestrians. It will be safe, it will feel welcoming, and it will encourage people to get out of cars, get onto bikes. It'll encourage people to explore our neighboring jurisdictions without the sometimes intimidating and difficult to navigate river that currently can inhibit the ability for someone to cross the river.
All right, so the downside of the project, it won't be completed until 2030, so it's got some time. I'm Chris Flanagan in the studio for DC News Now. Mark, back to you.
Okay, Chris, thank you very much. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says that he submitted an accelerated bid for his country to join NATO. The bid comes after Russian President Vladimir Putin said he plans to annex 4 regions Russia has taken. The European Union has called this annexation illegal. Zelensky has vowed to continue to fight back. He also says it is because he feels Ukraine has already met NATO standards through the 7 months of battling Russia. In his statement, it reads in part that we trust each other, we help each other, and we protect each other. This is an alliance. New today, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson made her first appearance on the Supreme Court bench, and President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and their spouses attended the ceremony. Brown will be sitting at the far end of the bench to Chief Justice John Roberts' left, just next to Justice Brett Kavanaugh. And with the Supreme Court about to start their new term on Monday, they're set to make decisions on a lot of impactful issues. Hannah Brandt takes a closer look.
After their last explosive term, the Supreme Court is now gearing up to hear new cases that may reshape the country.
There are huge issues on the table.
Those cases include 2 on affirmative action. George Washington law professor Alan Morrison says the court is expected to determine whether colleges can consider an applicant's race for admission.
It's hard to imagine that the court did not take this case to do serious damage to the affirmative action efforts at higher education.
Voting rights is also on the docket. The first of 2 cases examines whether state legislatures have the sole power over elections. American University law professor Stephen Wormiel says that could take authority away from state courts.
Had that been the case in 2020, Donald Trump probably would have won the 2020 election.
The other case centers on redistricting and if representation for minority populations should be considered when drawing election maps.
If you cannot, as the state of Alabama says, take race into account when redrawing districts at all, then essentially you've gutted the Voting Rights Act.
The court is also taking a case about same-sex couples and determining whether free speech rights outweigh a state's anti-discrimination laws that prevent businesses from excluding certain customers.
Locking horns over individual views versus state anti-discrimination.
And with additional cases on immigration, Native American adoption, and water pollution also on the court's calendar, the country could be in for another blockbuster term. In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.